Hey everyone, good afternoon. This is Kiwa again, and today I have a special video that I made for one of the people following my page, who wanted to know if they could put together a really amazing vacation in St. Lucia on $1,000 budget. So I'm going to show you what I came up with to show that you can have a pretty good time in St. Lucia and have a great vacation there for under $1,000. But that doesn't include your plane ticket. So after we already get the plane ticket, I'm going to show you how you could have a great time in St. Lucia for under $1,000. So let's start. So, first of all, why the heck should you listen to what I have to say? Basically, I am Kiwa Simpson, and why you should listen to me? Well, I live in St. Lucia and I am a local vacation planner or travel advisor, or what you might know as a travel agent. So, I help overworked couples and travel lovers who want to come to St. Lucia for vacation put together and create an amazing, unforgettable stay on my island. So I give them the insider tips they need to figure out the best places to stay, the most awesome things to do on the island, where to eat, what type of money to use, and all the tips and tricks they need to make sure that they really have an amazing time in St. Lucia. So I'll just make myself a little smaller, right, so we could continue. So now that you know who I am, let's go on to the good part. So the first thing you need to figure out is that you need to figure out which part of St. Lucia that you're going to stay at. So why is this important? Well, you need to stay in the place that has the type of activities and the experiences that you want to, if you're on a budget. Because traveling, getting from place to place in St. Lucia as a tourist can be extremely expensive. That we're looking at hundreds of US dollars for a private taxi to get from one place to the next. And even if the island is small, the roads are quite windy, and it could take a good amount of time to get from one part of the island to the next. So if you're on $1,000 budget, the first thing you have to do is to figure out the right place on the island to stay and stay there for you to save money on traveling. Okay, so right. So, as I said, the place you're going to stay at is based on the things that you would like to do. So, would you like to stay someplace in the north, which has all the nice, beautiful golden sand beaches and lots of different varieties and types of restaurants, a casino, a marina, and shopping centers, large shopping centers and stuff. Basically, the part of the island that's more catered to tourists with the stereotypical things that tourists would like, with the nightclubs and the nightlife and all of that awesome stuff. Or would you like to stay someplace more in the southwest, like Soufrière, where you could get to do all the naturey things and really get to experience St. Lucia for what that makes our island unique. So you could get to stay at Sugar Beach, which is a beach in between the pitons, visit a black sand beach if you've never done that before, go to a waterfall, do the mud baths, or do a boat tour near the pitons, a sunset cruise on a local water taxi near the pitons. So many different awesome nature things to do. So you just need to figure out which part of the island that you're going to stay at, and then you stay there so that at the end of the day, you save money on transportation. So as I said, you'd save money on transport because you'd be close to the things that you want to do. You'd save hundreds, I tell you, hundreds of US. Okay. Then the second thing you need to do is to pick some place comfy and cheap. And guess what? Airbnb is your best friend for this. There are many amazing local places to stay on the island. We're talking about renting a room, getting a small guest house that is run by a local or an expat, to an entire villa for yourself using Airbnb. So Airbnb is your best friend. Now, as you see, top-rated vacation rentals in Soufrière. So if in case you want to stay someplace that's more naturey with all the amazing things to do in St. Lucia, then that's definitely the place to stay. So we have examples here of small Airbnbs that are less than $50. You want to stay in some place for less than $50 because the typical vacation is around 5 days. So if you get some place that's less than $50 a night, which is what I would recommend, you could definitely have a good time in St. Lucia for your $1,000 budget. So this would be what it would typically look like. So, yep, this is an example of a nice local studio apartment that you could rent in Soufrière for less than $50 US a night. So, and so when you do that, you're looking at probably 250 to 300 US for the place that you're going to stay for the 5 days. Then the other thing you can do is to make sure you eat as local as possible. So the local restaurants and the local breakfast places are your friends. You could get a nice meal like what you see here. This is actually my meal with rum punch I had in Mariobe. So you could get a nice local meal for less than 9 US per meal. And then you could also prepare your own food, which will save you lots of money. So eat local. You don't need the fancy tourist-oriented restaurants and pay $50 for a burger and fries if you're on a budget. So consider doing day tours. Now you might say, okay, what is a day tour? A day tour is basically a tour that lasts around 4 to 6 hours. So it takes the entire day basically. And the thing about it is you get to do so many different activities on the island in one day. So instead of staying of like doing a tour of each different attraction or each different thing or something to do in St. Lucia per day, you get to do like 5 of them. You get to cover 5 of the most amazing things to do in the island in one day. How does that help? Well, you will save money since you won't have to do 5 separate tours. You could get a taste of all the most amazing things to do in one tour. And you get to cover the island basically with 2-day tours. So you won't have to spend lots of money on taxis, private taxis, and private transportations to get to the different places because you could get to them in just 1 day tour, paying just one fee. Okay, so this is an example. I know the picture is not too clear, but this is an example of one of the day tours in St. Lucia. You get to experience the island by land and by sea, and they take you to numerous places. So if you're staying in the north, they take you down to Soufrière. You get to see the World Heritage Site, which is the pitons. You get to do the mud baths and a waterfall, eat at a local restaurant, sample some rum punch, and do some snorkeling. So instead of doing all of these things, instead of doing each of these things per day, you get to do it in one day, and you get to just pay one fee, which saves you hundreds of dollars instead of having to do each of them, giving each of them a separate day. Okay, so yep, you could do zip lining as well. Many different things in St. Lucia. You can cover it in a short time and cover many different things and experience many of the amazing things in St. Lucia by doing a day tour. And this is my timer, sorry. And a day tour is usually $80 to $90. So you want to do a day tour and make sure it's a group tour. So you want to do a tour with a company that does group tours, probably 8 to 10 people per tour, so that you can get to pay less. Because if you do a private day tour, it might cost you like 300 US. But if you do a group day tour, then you might just end up paying $80 because you have to share the cost with like 8 other people or 10 other people. So that will save you money as well. So let's do the maths. So if we get an apartment for 5 days, let's say your vacation is 5 days, 270 US should cover 5 days of staying at a little studio apartment in St. Lucia for less than $50 a day. Then for your food, if you're looking at a local meal for less than $8 and you probably need around 3 of those, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, plus getting money to get your own groceries so you can cook for yourself, that might come to $220 or less. Of course, you need to get to and from your villa, which is an airport transfer. You need to get from the airport to the villa and from the villa to the airport when you return in. It's usually $80 one way, so that would come to $160. And then the day tours, if you're talking about $80 per tour, if you want to do 2-day tours to cover the southwest, which is the more naturey part, and probably another day to go to the north to experience more of the touristy stuff, then that might cost you $170 for 2-day tours. And let's say if you want to go visit the attractions in the place that you stay in, each attraction might charge you. You might be charged like $10 to get into each attraction, or $7 to get into an attraction. So that might come to $100 for the 5 days to get to the different attractions, and probably pay a taxi to get to them whilst you're here. So that comes to a total of $920. I think we did it. That excludes the airfare, so you need to pay for the airfare, but it's totally possible. We did it. So now, as I said, thanks so much for listening. I hope this was helpful. My lady, I hope I was able to help you. I tried my best. It is totally possible, but you just need to cut costs on where you're going to stay. Do day tours, make sure that they're group tours and not private tours, and try to eat as local as possible and make your own meals. And most importantly, stay in the location that has the things that you want to do, so you can save on money for transportation. You save hundreds of dollars. So, do you need one-on-one help with figuring out your St. Lucian vacation? Do you need help with figuring out where to stay, what to do, what type of money to use, how to get a great apartment, what hotel to pick? Then I'm definitely your girl. I would love to help you. All you have to do is to go to my website in the link below and then click the work with me page so you could see how I could help you. If you're on Instagram, DM me and let me know what problems you're having with putting together your amazing future vacation in St. Lucia, and we will see where I could help you out, because I would love to make sure that you make the most out of your vacation and have the most amazing time on my island. So the website is www.discoverstluciatours.com. I will put the links below, and also the links for all the tours that you saw and the places that you saw here, so you can find them yourself. Thank you very much, and I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments below. Bye-bye.